We'll call the 23rd meeting of this year, the Village Board of Trustees, the Village of Depew. It's March 9th, 2026. We're a little bit late, 7:07. The pledge by Trustee Kraft.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for a second. Let us pause for a moment of reflection. Heavenly Father, we gather this evening as members and leaders of the community of the Village of Depew. We're grateful for the opportunity to serve our neighbors and work together for the good of our village. Grant wisdom and understanding to those who've been entrusted with the responsibility of governing. Help them to listen with open minds, speak with respect, and make decisions that strengthen our community and improve the lives of all who call Depew home. Bless the residents of our village, our first responders who keep us safe, our workers and volunteers who keep our community strong, and the families who make Depew a place that we are proud to live. May tonight's discussions be thoughtful, our disagreements be respectful, and our decisions guided by fairness, integrity, and a commitment to the common good. We ask for guidance, patience, and unity as we serve this community together. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Notification of fire exits by Trustee Z.
The emergency exits are located to my left and to the rear of the room. In the event of an alarm or emergency, please move in orderly fashion to the exits and evacuate the building.
Need a roll call?
Trustee Morowski.
Here.
Trustee Zimba.
Here,
Trustee Kraft.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Here.
Mayor Peterson.
I'm here. Approve the board meeting minutes from the February 9th, 2026 meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I'd like to make a motion and move for its adoption that we approve the board meeting minutes from February 9th, 2026.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. Approve the board meeting minutes from the last meeting, February 23rd, 2026.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we approve the village board meeting minutes from February 23rd, 2026.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's also carried. Accept the zoning board meeting minutes from January 8th, 2026. And
Honorable.
we'll take them one at a time.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption, that we accept the zoning board meeting minutes from January 8th, 2026. Item number 1, 0 Humboldt Place, erect a fence within rear and side setbacks, approved as presented.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried.
Item number 2, 0 Humboldt Place, dumpster corral on lot without primary structure within rear and side setbacks, withdrawn by applicant.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Third item.
Item number 3, 258 Calumet Street, erect a deck within required side yard setback, approved as presented.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Also carried. Item 4.
Item number 4, 3950 Broadway, erect a wall sign greater than 100 square feet, approved as presented.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. All right, it's a relatively short agenda tonight. We'll be able to take any comments or questions on the agenda items only in the initial portion here. So we have a public hearing tonight. This is our first draft of a battery energy storage system law. Sam?
Okay. Don?
This is pretty complicated.
It is, and this is more of, I think I described it as a beast to work on, and it was more than I anticipated. We had a individual who's advancing a battery energy storage system, and code identified they needed to go through the planning board, and then recognized that we don't have any local laws on this newer technology. So I was sent some guidance from NYSERDA, and I found a example from another municipality that had passed one of these. I think we're only the second municipality to do this. That's why they call you Cutting Edge Kevin. You pass all these new local laws. I am not a electrician. My father is, but he fired me several times when I tried to work with him. So I took the easier path and went to law school. So, generally speaking, I think this is regulating Tier 1 battery energy storage systems, which are smaller, under 600 kilowatts, and then Tier 2 battery energy storage systems, which are greater than 600, and those are the big commercial systems that we're kind of trying to regulate in the same way solar panels are regulated with decommissioning bonds and
Setbacks.
a lot of setbacks and safety measures put in place, and the requirement they get special use permits through the planning board. So with that summary, I'm going to kick the technology part over to Don and Kate, who know a lot more about that than me. And I also want everyone to know we are planning to keep the public hearing open until next meeting, so we can make revisions and other changes to the law and have another draft based on the input we get tonight. Thank you. Don, what's a battery storage system? Kate, what's a battery storage system?
Make it correctly, I can understand it.
Okay, well, because I was actually an electrician once upon a time.
Oh, smarter than me.
So a battery energy storage system is basically a collection of batteries that you would power from. You could use a generator to charge those batteries and store that charge. You can use solar energy to charge those batteries. You can use gas. You can use a whole bunch of things. But basically, the bigger it is, the more volatile it can be, and the more you have to watch it. So if it's a large-scale BESS, it would have to be consistently monitored because it's probably giving power to the grid or taking power off of the grid, so the grid would monitor it at all times. The problem is, because this is so new for us, we don't really know what number says, hey, it's big or it's not big, other than this kilowatt hours. How do you put that out? How do you monitor it? Do we monitor it? Who does the inspections on this? It's a whole new animal. I've got some very basic information, but that's about, we don't even know what kind of batteries it is until they come to us and say, we want to do this, we're going to use lithium-ion batteries. We're going to use solid-state batteries. Those are completely different animals. So everything is going to be very dependent on that specific application.
So it
on
could
how
be
we
a-
deal
So
with it.
just a little bit, I'm going to explain a little bit more. The building code of New York State, fire code of New York State, even the NFPA has requirements that we would follow as far as the building code side of it. This here more determines where they're allowed to be, what the setbacks are from other properties, what type of fire safety systems they may need to put these things out. As Sam said, who's responsible to decommission it once the systems go bad, We want to make sure that we have something in place where the company goes out of business, the things run their course and they need to be dismantled, that we have protections that the taxpayers are not paying to get rid of this hazardous material. There is actually a lot, if you read the law, it covers anything we could come up with. As we were reading this, we throwing questions at each other, writing these things down, and it would be answered in the very next section. So a lot of this is covered right under this law. There's a few things that we're talking about adding. But this hearing tonight is really to see what the general public feels about it, and apparently not.
And we had a couple copies out there. There's a couple copies if you can want to take it on the way out, if you want to read on it, Dave.
I got it, but I still got a question.
All right, wait until we get to that part. All right. Second item tonight is permission to advertise for the reorg meeting, which is April 6th, in which we come here and set everything in motion for the next year. Next item is permission to advertise for the tentative budget. This is Regina's mainstay here. She's got to create the tentative budget by March 20th. So on the 23rd, we'll have a public hearing on that. some challenges this year because it's contract time for our 3 unions and for our garbage. So there are a lot of unknowns. The 3 unions, we will not be anywhere near close to settling at that point. So there'll be some numbers out there that'll be trying to make sure that we cover our bases, basically. The next item up is permission to advertise for the tax cap override, something that we do every year. This protects the village and the residents in case we have to. One of the oddities is that we're in 2 towns, which makes it even more difficult because the assessed values are different in each town. And as Regina just pointed out to me, so it's 64% on the Lancaster side at this point. Obviously, next year, they'll be at 100%. And then in Cheektowaga, it's steadily gone down from 100% just a couple of years ago. It's now down to 75%. So those numbers play big things in with what we have to do with our budget. So your first crack at it is the best guess estimate
Yep.
based upon what every department has asked for as well, because we've had meetings with each department. And then after that meeting and going right straight through a good portion of April will be the
Chopping up.
trustees, massaging the numbers, if you would, sharpening your pencils and massaging the numbers. Hopefully we get a little bit farther in our contract negotiations, but we'll see how that goes. And the next item is permission to sign a memorandum of agreement, and that is on the Western New York Stormwater Coalition report. Now, I'll open it up to any questions that Dave might have. Go ahead.
During your tenure, Kevin,
During
during your tenure,
Oh,
how many budgets have been below the tax cap?
depends upon what side of the village you're talking about. As an example, last year on your side, my side, it was a slight tax decrease, if I remember right. 1% maybe?
It was a slight increase, I think, last year, because there was a decrease the year before.
Okay. So the last 2 in Cheektowaga have been down. Lancaster side, because their assessment has gone down, they were at 8.1% last year.
Okay, because it varies every year, right? I mean,
It's pretty regular, yeah. There's some mayors that have served here in the past that had strung together 0% tax increases for both sides of the village, only to find that the mayor that came in after that person, they were 18%, 16.6.
I remember those days.
17. So, it's a fine line. Last year, we didn't use as much of our fund balance to help with that. We could have lowered the Lancaster side a little bit more, and that would have meant that Cheektowaga would have been below 0. But we came up with a number that we felt was as best that we could, so.
But you always put this in,
Tax cap override?
every year you do that, right?
We do it because the penalties are what we have to do the next year if we do not keep it under, which right now it's a number they say it's 2 point some percent, but it could vary a little bit. I learned a little bit watching our neighbors. So it'll be an actual dollar amount difference from last year, and that's what we'll have to stay under. If we didn't do it, we'd have to set money aside in a separate account. It becomes very cumbersome.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other steps that we'd have to follow, so.
These people in Cheektowaga, when they included it in their meeting, the people were going nuts. Everybody thought their taxes were going to go up, and I didn't say nothing. Let them think that, but it's
So the one thing I could say that would ease some of anybody's fears is that every one of us pay taxes up here to the village of Depew. None of us want to pay any more than we have to.
right.
And I can guarantee you another line that always is concerning to me is somebody saying that we're lining our pockets. I don't understand what that is. Have you gotten anything in your pockets lately? So,
A lot of lint.
we really, I mean, we spent last year
I think it was 3 sessions, wasn't it?
3 or 4 sessions
Many.
that were a
More than ever before.
few hours long. I mean, we spent a lot of time.
Yeah, I see this, like I said, that line, every year,
Yeah.
you come out and just the override, and I see it once in Cheektowaga. I mean, maybe they had it last year too, but the people were going nuts about worrying about raising taxes. I just think it's a fail-safe type thing.
It was
is.
an
It
election
really
year
is.
last year, so they politicized it and they made it a tax. They made it a thing where it's just a standard fare, honestly.
So NICOM, which is New York Conference of Mayors, which is sort of our legal portion, they tell us that it's recommended that you pass that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, you're right, it's just a fail-safe. It's not, we don't want to have to, but
Yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it, living in
Yeah.
Depew, that you always put it in, but a lot of times you're still under it and anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's,
And now you're going to really get me going. So, the contrary to some of the other people that love to be keyboard warriors over there, they accused that we did this last year and there was no opposition and it was passed because we were all Republicans. Well, I can tell you that this board is pretty well split. There's 2 registered Democrats, 2 registered Republicans, and 1 registered blank.
Oh, we're gonna
So
have to talk
we're
to the
pretty even
Democrats.
here. Nobody is, we're not doing it because we're all of one party.
all right, thank you.
Appreciate the comment there. All right. Anything on that?
no.
Okay. All right, let's rock and roll here. Number 1, public hearing, local law number 1, battery energy storage system law.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I'd like to make a motion that we open the public hearing for local law number 1, battery energy storage system law at 7:24 p.m.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? There you go.
So we kind of already,
Hold on.
Oh, no.
What?
The administrator is authorized to advertise for a public hearing for local law number 1 of 2026 to discuss the battery energy storage system law. The public hearing will take place on March 9th, 2026 in Depew Village Hall, Council Chambers, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, 14043 at 7 p.m.
What were you going to say?
I don't have anything to add. So I was going to say, during our agenda summary portion of the meeting, we kind of touched on what was going to be said in the public hearing. Briefly, this is a draft local law. We learned all about how batteries, it's like a bunch of little batteries together spitting off energy, and we need to regulate them to make sure they're safe and to make sure if they're abandoned, there is adequate funding available to properly decommission them and make the ground and area safe. So that's the idea with this law. We look forward to working together over the next 2 weeks and hopefully closing the public hearing and voting to adopt the law at the next meeting. But for now, because we still have work to do, I'd ask that the village board please keep the public hearing open and adjourn to the March 23rd meeting.
Okay. Just one little note too, is that there is copies for you to take out there. Okay? And then what we'll do is, for those that aren't here tonight, we'll put this on our website in the next day or two, and you'll be able to access it there.
I think Dave has a question about the battery.
Sure.
Please.
I'm curious, what type of business would use this battery storage?
So it's more meant for, I guess you would say, profit. Company buys these batteries, they purchase energy that they store during lower cost times rather than peak demand times. They store it in that system, and in the event that the grid needs help, they would sell it back to the grid, but I would guess it'd be at a little higher cost because they got to make some money somehow.
Right.
Not a bad thing to have these batteries.
So it's not just like the solar farm, would they be in the same predicament?
No, because the solar farm only feeds the grid when they have sun. Okay. The idea behind this is these are very large, about the size of a tractor trailer, each set of batteries. So when they're storing a lot of energy. And they could bleed that energy off in a high demand situation where we don't have enough. We don't want ever having brownouts or anything like that. So this would help feed back the grid as the grid would need it.
So they couldn't be outside then?
Oh, no, they're in buildings, but a lot of times they're pre-built. Like, you ever see a giant compressor come out of, what is that, the company that does Cameron? Ever does the giant compressor? Big giant steel building, it's all encased inside. They deliver it, crane it on, same idea.
Okay.
Now, they could build them separately inside storage warehouses and stuff, but if you read through this law, there's a lot that's, they make it safe for the most part.
So it's not like a regular business that's gonna be producing anything, it's just.
Just
battery
storage. It's no different than if you buy a battery pack for your phone. You're gonna be somewhere that you can't charge it for a while. You charge this battery pack, you stick it in your pocket, your phone starts to go bad, you plug it in. Get some extra. It's just a storage battery. It's just large scale.
Okay.
Now, things that crossed our mind. Well, what kind of noise do these things make? And relatively, they're no louder than just us having a conversation. So that was one thing that crossed my mind because we all hear the horror stories of these Bitcoins that, they're so loud that communities regret putting them in, but once they're in, you're stuck with them. So, everything that we could think of was actually answered in here. As we wrote our questions down and discussed it, they were pretty much already covered in this law. A couple things we do want to tweak is obviously making sure the decommissioning, they talked about something I've never heard of before. What was that, Sam, how they were wording?
Letter of credit.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. We think it's along the lines of a bond, like a bond you would have to carry for a junkyard, right? After the junkyard goes under, got to make sure there's enough money to decommission that site, remove contaminated soils, replant vegetation, things like that. This verbiage is in there, but we're not sure what that text thing is.
Do any of these large storage batteries, do any of them leak after a while? They probably.
Honestly, I'm going to assume, we have to review the plans. We haven't gotten a set of plans for these things yet. If you're going to do something like that, I'm assuming the containers themselves have to be somewhat leak-proof.
Right.
And there is a monitoring system. Okay, so we read through this because we're like, well, how are they monitored? Who comes and checks on the batteries? These things are going to be hooked up much like the solar farms are. If something is going wrong, it'll cue the station and say, hey, this is acting up, the heat's rising in this, which we're always afraid of thermal, runaway. You get a thermal runaway, now we have a big problem. We're going to be putting something out somehow. They do have fire suppression systems, but there are some extra regulations that we talked to the fire chief about that we may implement. But all this is just under discussion right now. Today was just to hear from the general public, what are their concerns that we may be able to answer through this. There are going to be some things that we do want to tweak a little bit. We'll talk about that. I just got back from vacation, so I did not get a chance to review this other than today. So over the next couple weeks before our next meeting, we'll review this, have more discussions, probably tweak a few things, and then we'll see what's.
So nobody's coming into Depew yet?
Well, we did have somebody come in and they applied for a permit, but it looked like it was more of a smaller storage battery for like solar panels.
Okay.
So the permit was issued in error. When I reviewed it, I called them right away, said, ho, we thought this was something else, I'm going to rescind the permit for now. We are in the process of passing a local law, because we don't really have much. This is new, As a matter of fact, Sam said that he could only find one other municipality that's adopted this law. So it's not widespread yet, but it's coming.
Cutting edge Kevin passing laws.
If anyone ever comes into Depew, can you let me know? I'd love to take a look at this thing.
Yeah, sure. Why not? What the heck?
If it's permissible. Thank you, though.
Once we pass the law and this person comes for a permit or a review, it'll be posted.
It's going to be posted because it's going to go through a special use permit process.
Right.
They're not just going to be able to put it in because we have a permitting system for it. It'll be a public hearing and everything else.
And they'll still need a special use.
Oh, yeah.
Now, those are yearly, right? Special use permits?
2 years.
2 years?
Oh, no. Special
I
use
think you
permit
renew
could be.
them every 2 years.
That's only for
Only for smoke shops?
smoke shops, because we wrote it in that way. Special use permit, it could stay forever until they abandon it or something along those lines.
I thought when the guy across the street hit his garage, mechanical garage, I thought his was year to year.
They have to go through an inspection process every
Fire
3 years,
safety.
fire safety inspection. But as long as they don't deviate from the norm or change hands or anything like that, it remains in effect. Just like these car dealerships. Every car dealership you see or every garage here is under a special use permit, but we don't make them come in every 2 years just to prove they're still a garage. They're a garage. You know, the only one that we have that on right now that I'm aware of is the smoke shops, cannabis shops right now. Because it was so new, we weren't sure what to expect. But as of right now, we haven't had many problems with even the cannabis shops and the smoke shops. Something else we're discussing, behind the scenes, how we're gonna possibly tweak some changes, and it'll be just like this process tonight.
Okay. We're hoping that people maybe have some questions, and that's why we're keeping the public hearing open. All right. The next one, we'll go to item number 2, permission to advertise for the reorganization meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion, move for its adoption. The administrator is authorized to advertise for the reorganization meeting to take place on Monday, April 6, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Village Hall, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, 14043.
I second the motion.
I need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Morowski.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Item number 3, permission to advertise for the tentative budget.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the village administrator is hereby authorized to advertise for a public hearing for the 2026-2027 budget to take place on Monday, March 23rd, 2026, in the council chambers, Village Hall, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, 14043.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. Item number 4, permission to advertise for the tax override.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I'd like to make a motion and move for its adoption. Be resolved, the village administrator is authorized to advertise for a public hearing. The public hearing will be held on Monday, March 23rd, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, Village Hall, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, 14043. The purpose of this hearing is to consider local law number 2 of 2026, authorizing a property tax levy in excess of the limit established in General Municipal Law Section 3-C. If adopted, the proposed local law shall read as follows. Section 1, legislative intent. It is the intent of the local law to allow Village of Depew to adopt a budget for the fiscal year commencing June 1st, 2026 that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the tax levy limit as defined by General Municipal Law Section 3-C. Section 2, authority. This local law is adopted pursuant to Subdivision 5 of General Municipal Law Section 3-C, which expressly authorizes a local governing body to override the property tax cap for the coming fiscal year for the adoption of a local law approved by a vote of 60% of said governing body. Section 3, tax levy limit override. The Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew, County of Erie, is hereby authorized to adopt a budget for the fiscal year commencing June 1st, 2026 that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the amount otherwise prescribed in General Municipal Law Section 3-C. 4, severability. If a court determines that any clause, sentence, paragraph, subdivision, or part of this local law or the application thereof to any person, firm, or corporation or circumstance is invalid or unconstitutional, the court's order or judgment shall not affect, impair, or invalidate the remainder of this local law, but shall be confined to in its operation to the clause, sentence, paragraph, subdivision, or part of this local law, or in its application to the person, individual, form, or corporation or circumstance directly involved in the controversy in which such judgment or order shall be rendered. Section 5, effective date. This local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State.
I second that.
Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Morowski.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Resolution number 5, permission to sign a memorandum of agreement.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, Mayor Kevin Peterson is authorized to sign the memorandum of agreement with the Western New York Stormwater Coalition.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Morowski.
Yes.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
We've had no employment applications received in the last 2 weeks. And we have department head reports for police for the February 2026 period.
Okay. Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. That we accept the department head reports to police February 2026.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. No unfinished or other business. Before we get to public comments and concerns, we'll go around the board here today. You had a report from DPW, did you?
Yep.
Small one?
Small one, Ken said they're just working on, which roads, figuring out what roads they're gonna do this year
For paving?
for paving.
Good. See, we get that done early, Dave. Got to get the paving in early. And just as a note there too, people might be asking about George Urban Boulevard. The Erie County contractors that they had working on it in the fall will be back to do the landscaping along the sides and the striping on the roads. And I know I had a resident reach out to me about one of the gutters leading to one of the DIs, and he gave me some pictures. I sent that along to Gina W. from she's the engineer at Erie County Highway, so they're going to take a look at that for him.
I see some content, George, people are making a left or something, and they're over too far.
Yes,
I
yeah.
wish they'd get those stripes. in
Yep,
there.
I sent them a special note on that one about 2 weeks ago, and they were trying to get it into that window. We had 1 or 2 days that were like 40 degrees, but it just didn't happen. So they'll be out there soon, and hopefully there won't be any more issues like that. We'll go to Chief McNamara.
Good evening, everybody. Our 4 newest officers are working their way into Phase 2 of their training, doing a splendid job. We're very happy with their progress. For the month of February, we answered 1,298 non-criminal complaints and 94 criminal complaints. We had 2 vehicles stolen out of the village. They were both recovered. A total of 30 accidents, 6 of them were injury. And we arrested 39 individuals, 1 juvenile, 27 males, and 10 females. And we issued 352 traffic summonses this past month. And a large number of those traffic summonses were specifically in our school zone on Transit Road there in Depew, the Depew High School, Middle School, Kig Heights area there. I ask that you watch that area specifically. The weather gets nicer. Everybody's trying to enjoy the nice weather. Got their windows down. They're driving a little fast, but those are some big roads that our kids are crossing. So we ask for your attention there in the school zone. Thank you.
Yeah. The other side, Chief Musilak from Fire.
Good evening, everyone. Since our last village board meeting, we've had 10 calls, which brings us to 69 year-to-date. Other than that, I just like to say that we had our department installation last week Saturday, and we recognized several of our members for special awards and also for years of service. Those members were past Chief David Strominger, who has 53 years of active service to the Depew Fire Department as one of our top call responders. He was recognized for our first ever Captain Ray Weaver Perseverance Award, along with 2 of our members recognized for the first ever presentation of the past Chief Michael Hare Brotherhood Award, Janet Costrin, and also Chaplain Galen Purpura. We also had several members recognized for years of service. Those members were, for 40 years of service, Timothy Rogacki, Paul Walter, for 30 years of service, past Chief John Gauthier, Don Wext, and there was one more, and I can't remember who that was now. And then for 25 years, past Chief Scott Wext, and for 20 years of service, Robert Morowski, Jeff Lee, and Christopher Foote. Oh, the other 30-year was Marty Lebedinsky, who's also a longtime employee of our DPW as well. So, other than that, I would just like to remind everybody that there's a New York State burn ban in effect starting March 16th through May 14th. That means please no campfires, no burning of anything. And then just a reminder, going into our summer season here in a few months, that we do have our open burn law back on the books, local law in our village. Please familiarize yourself with that law before you decide to have any campfires or any outdoor cooking or anything like that over the summer months. That's it.
All right. Go down to Building Department, our two code enforcement officers, Don and Kate.
I don't have a lot this week. I was on vacation. We have not had any new businesses that came in since our last meeting. Project over at Bosse's is going well. Getting a lot of work done over there. Oh, you got anything?
No, you were gone, and I was pretty busy just keeping up with your stuff and my stuff. But I did have a meeting with Amanda McNamara from Nussbaumer and Clark regarding the stormwater management plan. That is available for review, and as is the MS4 annual report.
Where can they find that?
I can happily print them out for anyone who would like hard copies. Other than that,
Is it a lengthy report? Is it something that we can post?
We normally do post it on the website.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll find its way to the website this week, couple
Yes.
days, okay? Legal,
Okay.
Sam
Like
Alva.
I instigated with everyone tonight talking about how we could improve our local laws. So we've talked about the battery law. We're going to make some changes to that. We touched on our cannabis regulation, which also tried to encompass all of the vape and smoke shops in the village. And what we discussed is the need to revisit how that law regulates smoke shops, because we found the cannabis rules and the smoke shop rules really aren't one size fits all. So that's something we'll be working on after seeing the special use permits come through the planning board. It's planning board, right? Yeah, planning board a few times. Again, cutting edge Kevin got us to do the law. We were one of the first in the state with the cannabis zoning law. We got it done before there was a stay on dispensaries, and that's how Herbal IQ was able to open in the village when there weren't many other stores in the area. It provided a significant economic impact to the village, and a very good economic impact. But that was almost 3 years ago now, and we've learned a few things. It's time to make some improvements.
Okay. Village administrator, working hard.
Working hard on the budget, so, yeah, if you see me a little stressed out in the next 2 weeks, and just, mumbling numbers, you'll know why.
How's Regina's Snack Shack doing?
We are winding down. I've
Okay.
got one last big push to put out for seniors on Wednesday, and then I think that will be the end of it.
Because we were at the event yesterday, and it seems like they've been getting an awful lot of donations of food over there at the community center. Might have gotten everybody through that tough period of time. He did well. Trustee Morosky.
It's just getting nice out. Take it easy. I mean, speed, if you will, not around school zones, because love the ticket money.
You're advocating.
Just
What do you want? More?
enjoy the nice weather.
You want more than 352 tickets?
Yes.
Okay. It's on tape now,
I understand.
Trust
I just hope I'm not one of them.
Trustee Zimmer?
Yeah, we're-
Good evening. Northeast Southtown Solid Waste Management Board meets on Thursday out in Hamburg, so I will have a slew of things to report next meeting from that. I will have to run for office again, according to the agenda. New business, candidates for officers, nominations from the floor, so that'll be interesting. That's all I got, thanks.
All right. Trustee Kraft?
I wanted to wish congratulations to Pastor Turley for her recognition yesterday from the Assembly member on International Women's Day. And coming up in the next couple months, we're going to be running the food passport that we did last summer. You basically take your paper with your list of all of your restaurants, and every purchase you make, you get a stamp on it, and once your paper's filled up, you bring it back here and you get entered to win gift cards from the participating restaurants. So last year we did April 1st through August 1st, and I think that worked out okay, so we will do that again.
What did people win, by the way?
Whatever the minimum purchase was for the restaurants that participated, they donated back a gift card in that amount. So like, I think PJ Cools or Frosties, they were like a $5 purchase.
One person gets like 20 cards or something?
Last year, we did one person winner take all.
Wow.
Split it up this year.
Probably, well, then how would you pick, like, oh, you get all the ice cream
Random
places,
assortment.
and
Oh,
yeah,
just
so
mix match. Yeah.
Okay.
that's why I kind of liked the winner take all, like, then there's no like, well, I don't like this place, so.
All right. Deputy Mayor Adolph?
Yeah, so we were at there was a contingency of the board to honor Pastor Turley yesterday, and I'll just take Audrey's mantle up here and say the community center across the way has open house again on March 22nd, and they'll additionally be offering free haircuts that day. They'll have skilled barbers present, and they plan to just open that up to the public. So if anyone's interested, that'll be available in the coming weeks here. From my side of things, Tree City, USA, we got our 6 years in, so it's official. We got approved, and we'll be putting this up, and they gave us a new flag, so that'll be flying for the village, and very proud to keep that going. It's a great program, and look forward to Arbor Day coming in the following month here. So
Yep, and that's April 25th.
we'll we already ordered saplings that we'll plan to distribute that day, and look forward to having more of the public out to plant trees within the village. That's all for me.
Thank you, Trezar. Appreciate it. So we did, the village was invited recently to the town of Lancaster, village of Lancaster, and the village of Depew presented their state of each of the municipalities at the annual Chamber of Commerce event. And boy, I tell you, when you sit back and you look at it, I know you did all the photos for me. There's a lot that went on in the last year.
Yeah.
We had a lot of stuff go on, boy.
It's very good.
So, yeah, we had an unofficial, led the pack as far as number of photos, so we did good. I think the village looks pretty solid there. It was good. Thank you for coming, Andrew and Bob.
Happy to. Yeah.
And thank you. I made sure I thanked you.
No.
Oh yeah, he thanked you big time
Oh.
there.
I did. I know where my bread is buttered here, so. Anyway. All right. Anything, Dave? You got anything for us? No. Nothing? We have Bob Brandon here today. Senator Tim Kennedy, I'm sorry, Congressman Tim Kennedy's representative locally. Everything's going good? Very good. Let's see, what else we got?
We appreciate you being here, seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Pass the word. Tell them all the good things we're doing. All right, anything else? Nothing there?
The neighborhood On Evane is very concerned about a house being used as an Airbnb in Verbo. We witnessed some suspicious activity yesterday. Is there anything on the books about short-term rentals?
Where we were at? Want to
Okay, so
explain back where
we had an incident like this a few years ago, and as a result, we discussed issuing a moratorium on short-term rentals, and we actually had a draft local law we circulated. It was decided to wait and see if there were any other incidents like this, and here we are almost, I think,
4 years.
I think 3 or 4 years
Yeah.
later, and we have
Jackie was here.
a second incident. So, you know, while this is a serious issue to be addressed, and it's something that will make us recirculate the Airbnb law, there is some comfort in the fact that it's happened twice in a 4-year span. This isn't something that we know to be rampant
not a
in the
weekly thing.
village. But we are going to resurrect the local law we had circulated, update it, and see if it's something
Just say
that we
we
could
had.
pass to kind of add an extra arm of regulation to these things to make sure this doesn't happen.
So that was an online comment, and if you're still watching, we'd be interested to know what the address was. We didn't quite have that today when we were discussing it in the pre-board. Does anybody have it?
She just said thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Keep it near the top. All right. We'll go on to claims and accounts.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that the claims and accounts have been audited by the Finance Committee and are approved for payment as follows.
From the general fund, $114,969.36. Zero community development, sewer fund, $13,910. Capital projects, $94,516. For a total of $223,395.36.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. And now I will entertain an adjournment for tonight's meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption that we adjourn the meeting at 7:54.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried.